What's going on, everybody? Here is the GTA real estate market update for February 2026. So the overall market trend, home sales across the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, TREEB, are still down year over year, but the gap is starting to narrow slightly. So there was 3,868 homes sold in February 2026 versus 4,127 homes sold in February 2025. So that's a 6.3% drop year over year, but it's actually an improvement from last month, which suggests the market may be slowly stabilizing. Right now, many potential buyers are still sitting on the sidelines. A lot of people are waiting for home prices to level off before jumping back into the market. And if new listings continue trending lower heading into the spring, that could create more competition between buyers, which would likely support prices and potentially push sales higher. Let's talk about the average home price. This is for all home types in all of Toronto and the Greater Toronto Area. So average home price, the average GTA home price in February came in at $1,008,968. That's down 7.1% year over year, but there's something interesting happening here. In our last market update video on our podcast series, the Maple Realty Show, the average price was sitting at around $950,000. And we were asking the question, could prices drop below the 2020 average of around $920,000? I believe we both said that in a worst case scenario, we didn't think prices would drop below $900,000. But now we've actually seen the average price climb back up above the $1 million mark again. So the question now becomes, was that dip below $1 million just temporary? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Why sales are down? According to Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, there is actually a lot of pent-up demand in the market right now. They estimate that over 100,000 potential buyers in the GTA are currently holding off purchasing. The two main reasons: number one, buyers are waiting for prices to stabilize. And number two, many are waiting for positive news on the trade and economic front. TREEB believes that once both those things happen, we could see strong momentum in home sales in the second half of 2026 and into 2027. Another factor, new listings were down 17.7% year over year. So buyers simply don't have as many options to choose from last month. That said, sales did increase slightly compared to January, which is at least a small positive sign. Some other positive signals: there are also a few things worth watching moving forward. First, spring is only a couple weeks away, and historically, the spring market is when activity really picks up in the GTA. This seasonal shift alone can boost consumer confidence for both buyers and sellers. And if more buyers decide to enter the market at the same time while listings remain relatively limited, that could increase competition again. So let's break down the price breakdown by home type year over year. Again, this is for all home types in Toronto and the Greater Toronto Area. So here's how different property types perform compared to last year. Detached homes were down 8.2%, worse than last month. Semi-detached homes were down 5.8%, which was a slight improvement from last month. Townhouses down 7.2%, which was a slight improvement from last month. Condo apartments down 8.8%, also improving slightly. Overall, most segments actually performed slightly better than last month, even though prices are still down compared to last year. Inventory levels. So inventory is another key metric to watch. Active listings were down 2.4% year over year. That means there's still slightly less choice for buyers overall. Now, this isn't unusual for February. Inventory tends to be lower this time of year, so it will be interesting to see what happens once the spring market comes. Days on the market. Homes are still taking a bit longer to sell compared to previous years. The average days on the market is 54 days. That's slightly higher than last year, but it's actually better than last month, which suggests the market may be starting to pick up again slowly. Economic indicators worth watching. There are also a few economic indicators influencing the market right now. So GDP for Q4 2025 was down 0.6%. Employment up slightly 1.2%. Unemployment rate 7.9%. Inflation 2.3%. And Bank of Canada overnight rate 2.3%. Prime rate 4.5%, unchanged from last month. Overall, economic conditions still haven't improved enough yet to fully restore buyer confidence. What this means for the market. So what does this all actually mean? There are a lot of pent-up demand in the GTA housing market. Many buyers are simply waiting for the right moment to jump back in. Prices dipped below 1 million briefly, but have moved back up above that level, and the spring could be a key turning point. Another important long-term factor is housing affordability. The sustainability of the GTA housing market will largely depend on closing the gap between condo apartments and traditional single-family homes, which has become extremely wide over the last few years. That's the latest GTA housing market update, but I'm curious what you think. Do you think home prices will continue to rise this spring, or do you think we could see another dip later in 2026? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.